I would like to introduce our next speaker, who I'm sure many of you already know. Hua Li is a professor of Chinese at Montana State University, specializing in modern and contemporary Chinese literature, with a keen focus on Chinese science fiction studies. Li has authored 2 monographs: Chinese Fiction During the Post-Mao Cultural Thaw from the University of Toronto Press in 2021, Contemporary Chinese Fiction by Su Tong and Yu Hua, Coming of Age in Troubled Times, published by Brill in 2011. Additionally, she has co-authored the volume Chinese Science Fiction, Concepts, Forms, and History by Palgrave in 2024, with Mingwei Song and Nathaniel Isaacson. Her contribution extend beyond monographs to include numerous journal articles and book chapters covering a wide array of topics in contemporary Chinese literature, cinema, animation, and science fiction. These publications have appeared in esteemed peer-reviewed journals and edited volumes such as Science Fiction Studies, Frontier of Literary Studies in China, Journal of Chinese Cinema, and Cambridge History of Science Fiction.
Thank you, Dr. Ma, for a very generous and kind introduction. So, my presentation examines artifacts related to key rituals in built Montana's Chinese community from 1860 to 1960. It was part of a larger translation project that I led with a group of my Chinese language students at Montana State University, combining research with community service. The primary goal of this project is to enhance Chinese American Museum exhibits by translating the original Chinese captions into English for numerous artifacts displayed and stored at the Meihua Museum in Butte, Montana. Yesterday, Hannah Smith has presented on this project, and also you can see here. So this is a photo I took when I took students and also accompanied by some MSU faculties there to the museum. So we can even identify Dr. Mark Johnson here, Professor Maggie Green, who presented yesterday, and also Professor Pat Mandy, who is sitting there, also going to present, and he's also on the executive committee of the Meihua Museum, and also Dr. Philip Williams, who presented yesterday, and the rest of them are my students. So these artifacts were left behind by the former traditional Chinese medical Dr. Hui's family, Dr. Lam's family, and Meihua Noodle Parlor and the Hua Changtai Mercantile Shop, which were all major landmarks of the ethnic Chinese community in Butte from 1860 to 1960. These early Chinese immigrants in Butte were mainly from 3 Cantonese towns: Taishan, Xinhui, and Kaiping, and most of them were from Taishan. For example, the Qin family. This map shows the family journey of the Qin family, originally lived in Henan province in China, then later moved to Kanto province, Taishan, then moved to the US, then settled in Butte, Montana. And also these are 3 photos of 3 tombstones which I took in this May. I'm going to talk about them more later. But you see, those tombstones not only show the names and the year of the death of the deceased, but also show where they come from. For example, this one, 新龙顺坟墓, 新会人 means from 新会, and those top 2, 广东台山, so 广东台山, also here, Taishan died in 1917, and died in 1943. So, taking advantage of my research trip to China on Chinese science fiction this summer, I also visited Taishan, Guangdong. Here, Taishan is a county-level city located in the southwest of Guangdong Province, China, under the administration of Jiangmen City and part of the Greater Pearl River Delta region. Known as the first home of overseas Chinese, 第一侨乡, Taishan has a rich history of immigration, particularly to the US, Canada, and Southeast Asia. Remittances from Taishanese immigrants have historically played an important role in the city's development, funding infrastructure, education, and cultural projects. Taishan is also home to numerous historical sites, ancestral houses, and temples that reflect its deep cultural heritage and influence of its diasporas. So this is the Taishan railway station. It was only built several years ago, so now we can take Gaotie to Taishan, but you can see the style of this building is not really traditional Chinese. Instead, it's a kind of a Kaiping Diaolou style, very similar to this. Kaiping Diaolou, although the famous Kaiping Diaolou are primarily located in the neighboring city of Kaiping, many Taishanese families have connections to these iconic structures. These buildings were built with funds sent back by the overseas Taishanese and serve as fortified homes. This is a picture I took. That was a very rainy day, but you can see this Diaolou fortified home are very well preserved and still function. The first floor are shops, and also you can see retirees and senior people playing mahjong here, and the second and third floor are still residential space. But this is a prettier picture from internet, but it's a same or similar building. There's a whole street with this Diaolou. I also visited Taishan Overseas Chinese Cultural Museum, Taishan Huaqiao Guowu. So you can see very interesting the data here. The current population in Taishan is about 900,000. However, the current overseas Taishanese, right, a million, right? Yeah, so double the current population in Taishan itself. I also will quickly cover the types of immigration. Yesterday, Dr. Williams' presentation, he mentioned a few types of immigration. So the first is the free immigration. These are the people who had both the financial means and also the intention to move abroad to work. Then the next type is called credit bill Chinese laborers who loan money. In Chinese, 借贷入费的施单华工, as Dr. William mentioned yesterday, it took those laborers like 3 months, half a year, or even 1 year to pay off the debts before they can earn money for themselves. Next step is pigless Chinese laborers who were abducted or trafficked to overseas. The next one is coach paper immigrants during the Chinese exclusion period. This is most related to the built early Chinese immigrants, and also the family reunion means since after 1980, most of Taishanese moved abroad by means of family reunion. I'm going to quickly explain what is the coach paper immigration. After the issue of Chinese Exclusion Act in 1882, the immigrant laborers from China became strictly restricted. The immigration authorities reinforced the interrogation towards the identity examination of Chinese laborers. Then those Chinese laborers compiled the contents of interrogations to form a special overseas Chinese document, 口供纸 or coach paper. So immigrants guided by such a document who went through the customs were called coach paper immigrants. So here, these are the photos I took in the museum. 口供纸, this is a very typical 口供纸 written in Chinese. The top ones are all the questions, then the bottoms are answers. This is too blurry to identify, but I can give you some examples. For example, one of the questions is 汝妹嫁人否? Did your younger sister get married? 否? No. Can you write your own name? 汝能写汝个名否? 50. I know how to write. So I believe a lot of early Chinese immigrants in Built came to the United States by using the coach paper to train themselves to pass through the customs. Now back to my presentation, the artifacts. Among those artifacts stored in the Meihua Museum, there are items utilized by these early Chinese immigrants for worship, celebrations, festivals, and funerals. In this presentation, I will examine 4 items for each key rituals as family-based ancestral worship, the Lunar New Year festival, divination rites, and funerals for the Chinese community in Butte. One notable artifact is a wooden multicolor statue of Guan Yu, a figure from the Chinese historical period of the Three Kingdoms, who was posthumously deified as a god of war and a protector, serves several functions in Chinese culture. And also yesterday in Dr. Peter Wang's presentation, he also showed a photo of a Guan Yu statue. So Guan Yu statue was worshipped in the local Chinese family Xuan as a guardian spirit, a powerful protector, and his statue is believed to safeguard the household from evil spirits, negative influences, and harm. Guan Yu is also a symbol of loyalty, righteousness, and integrity. Having his statue in a home or business is seen as a way to inspire these virtues among the residents or employees. In some traditions, Guan Yu is also associated with wealth and success, particularly in business where his presence is believed to bring prosperity and good fortune. A Guan Yu statue is often placed facing the entrance of a home or business to ward off evil spirits and protect against negative energies that might enter the house or the company or business. The statue can also be placed in the living room, ideally on a high shelf or altar, symbolizing respect and giving it a commanding presence over the household. In homes where Guan Yu is worshipped as a deity, his statue is placed on a dedicated altar, often alongside offering like incense, fruit, and candles. It is generally advised not to place a Guan Yu statue in more private or casual areas like bedrooms or kitchens, as these are seen as less respectful and locations. So here, I believe this is not the original location where Guan Yu statue was placed, right? Yeah, just the museum store this, but nicely place it there. You can see this is a bigger picture. The whole place was dedicated for some statues. This is the Guan Yu from the side view. In the same area, a kind of room, this is also, this is very tiny, but you can see this is the Cai Shen Yi, a god of wealth, which is placed in a very delicate shrine. The 4 characters here are 金玉满堂, household is full of gold and jade. And this one is a steel. The Chinese here is not complete picture, but I have the Chinese here. 李公景纯爱民善政碑, it means Li Jingchun's steel of loving people and benevolent governance. So the museum store all the 3 pieces in a special place, even though it is not an entrance, but it's still very respectful position, location for these statues. Very well done. Next one, 往生神咒. Okay, yeah. So 往生神咒 is also known as rebirth mantra, which is a Buddhist chant primarily associated with the Pure Land school of Buddhism, Jingtu Zong. They can be used as the following occasion. 往生神咒 is commonly recited during funerals, memorial services, and other rituals for the deceased to ensure the safe passage to the Pure Land. Some Buddhists also recite 往生神咒 regularly as part of the daily practice, seeking blessings for themselves and others, or to accumulate merit that can be dedicated to the deceased. It may also be chanted for someone who is gravely ill or near death to prepare the consciousness for a peaceful transition and favorable rebirth. Oh, sorry. Oh, yes, it is here. Okay. So this one I just put all the Chinese characters here and the English translation for your reference. So you can see this Wangsheng Shenzhou contains various excerpts from various Buddhist sutras and mantras. This in the museum we find several dozens of Wangsheng Shenzhou. We believe they were sold by Huachangtai Mercantile Store to the local Chinese immigrants to be used as a funeral. But they're not in use anymore. So these are the small photos I took this May. I went to the tomb sweeping ceremony organized by Dr. Mandy, and also Dr. Mark Johnson was also there. Instead of burning Wangsheng Shenzhou, they burn paper money, but that's very practical. Yeah, so you can see by the ceremony, the tradition has been very well preserved. Every year, right, Dr. Mandy, you organize this event. I believe this gentleman is the third or fourth generation of Chinese immigrants. I talked to him briefly. He had never been to China before, but he was there present. And also he prepared some paper money as well. And you can see the paper money will burn here. But hopefully, yeah, maybe in future we can photocopy some of those Wangsheng Shenzhou and burn them at the ceremony. Next one. So these are auspicious posters for the Chinese New Year. The left one, we can find 5 Chinese characters there, right? Shou, longevity, Cai, wealth, Gui, nobility. Yeah, Shou is in the center, right? Gui, double happiness, Xi, and also we have a Lu. This is the Cai, wealth, and the Lu, officialdom here. The right one on the paper, on the left, we can see the 4 characters there, Yong Bao, Ping An, stay safe forever, and on the right, 贵人指引, guidance from noble people. These were normally posted at the entrance of the house during the New Year time. Another piece I'm going to examine today is, this is a cover of a Chinese almanac, Hua Li Tongshu, which usually contains an illustration of spring cow and classic of Mother Earth. Hua Li Tongshu is a traditional Chinese almanac that combines elements of astronomy, astrology, and folk beliefs. The Tongshu provides information on the best times and dates to undertake various activities such as weddings, moving houses, starting a business, or even cutting hair. It also warns of inauspicious dates or times when certain activities should be avoided. Hua Li Tongshu also includes detailed astrological data such as the position of the sun, moon, and stars, which are believed to influence human affairs. It also contains guidance on the compatibility of different Chinese zodiac signs, which can be used in matters like marriage or business partnerships. The Tongshu traditional provides advice on agricultural practices, such as the best times for planting and harvesting, based on the lunar calendar and seasonal changes. It also includes feng shui recommendations, helping people align their living spaces and activities with natural forces to promote harmony and prosperity. Tongshu is also rich in folklore, including traditional rituals, prayers, and customs that are followed during festivals and other important events. Now, Hua Li Tongshu is still widely consulted in modern times, especially in rural areas and among older generations, both overseas and inside China, as well as by those who maintain traditional Chinese culture practices. Each year has a different version of Hua Li Tongshu. The content is updated annually to reflect the specific astrological and lunar calendar information relevant to that year. specifically for this cover, the big horizontal characters on top are 五寅年春牛总图 comprehensive illustration of spring cow in the year of 五寅. I did some calculation, that was the year of 1938. The length as the both sides of the illustrations, I copy the Chinese characters there and along with the English translation. I'm not going to read them, to save time, but you can look at it. Then underneath the illustration, there are some paragraphs from right to left. The very left one is a description of the illustrations of the spring cow, including the size of the cow, the length of his tail, the color of his body, and the decorations on the cow. The passage ends with a sentence, 忙神晚闲，立于牛后左边 means a god of spring, a god of Mang at dusk, leisurely stands at the left side of the spring cow. We can even see the Mang Shen here. So next paragraph introducing Tai Sui, the god of the year. The surname of Tai Sui of the year is Zeng, and the given name is Guang. Next one is an excerpt from the classic of Mother Earth's 地母经, which is a traditional Chinese divination book. And next one also indicates the birthday of Mother Earth, which was 18th of the third month of that year. It gives a short account what will happen on the birthday of Mother Earth. And the very left here gives various important dates in lunar calendar, and most of them were related to farming. So my conclusion is that these ritual-related artifacts showcase the often hidden aspect of these early Chinese immigrants' lives. While working as Chinese doctors or miners, or else as owners or employees of Chinese restaurants, laundries, or grocery stores in a relatively small city in northwestern America, these Chinese American immigrants maintain close cultural ties with their Chinese ancestral homeland by preserving and practicing important rituals in their daily lives. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.